Rurouni Kenshin, The Blood Ronin. Story created by Tom Hilbert with ideas by myself as well as Tom. The story begins in the heart of the revolution. We find Himura, the Batosai, surrounded by 6 warriors, all willing to die. Kenshin is steady, he's fast, but no amount of fear in his eyes. He unsheaths his sword and dispatches every last one of the men with fairly ease. And he walks away back into the night. A young boy reveals himself from the woods. You see, the boy was watching the battle because he was admiring his father. One of the warriors was his father. Unfortunately, he witnessed the death of his father. He begins to cry over his father's body, holding him tight, yelling into the night. And soon he begins to talk to himself with furious rage, including he wants revenge. And he begins by saying this, standing over his father's dead body. I promise, Father, I will avenge you. I, Yun Toshida, will avenge you. I will bring his blood. I will rain vengeance on him. Blood for blood. I promise. We fast forward to the modern time, and Kenshin and the gang are at the Akabeko, enjoying a nice meal. It is he, himself, Yakio, Sano, Megome, and Kaoru, all enjoying a meal. Tay comes over and asks if the gang has enjoyed their meal. In the process of enjoying their meal, Tay introduces the gang to a new member of the Akabeko. He is a young cook. She says to them, I want you all to meet the newest member of the Akabeko, Yun Tanaka. He bows in admiration until his eyes dart towards Kenshin. And the young boy seems to be in awe of Kenshin. He even says, you're him, aren't you? You're the Batosai. Kenshin says, no, I am Himura. My name is Kenshin Himura. That man died a long time ago during the revolution. And with that, the boy seemed very confused, as if that wasn't what he wanted to hear. Sanosuke even says, you're pretty young. How old are you? The boy, Yun, says, 18, sir. Sano begins to joke on Yahio and says, well, it looks like they don't need you anymore working here. And the two begin to fight. The boy bows them farewell and goes back to the kitchen. Kaoru says, Tay, he seems very nice. When did you hire him? She says, 3 days ago. He cooked me a lovely meal from a foreign country, and I enjoyed it. And that's a lot of things that he will bring to our business. While the gang walks back to the school, Kenshin lingers behind. He's reminiscing about the old times, the old days. He's reminiscing about his time as a manslayer. As always, it's always on his mind. Yahio says, "Are you okay, Kenshin?" Kenshin? Huh? I'm sorry, Yahio. Just daydreaming. Yeah, I noticed. Are you okay? I'm fine. They bid Megumi farewell while she gets back to her daily needs as a physician. And the gang begins to just get back to their daily lives. Once they reach the school, they see Yamagata, Oritomo Yamagata, and the chief of police. Himura. Yamagata, what brings you here? We need your help. We need you to come with us. Why? We cannot say right now. Will you please come? Kaoru says, go. We'll all go. And that's when Yamagata says, I am sorry, ma'am. Sorry, Miss Kaoru. Only Kenshin. I'll be back. Yamagata and the chief and Kenshin travel to a weirwood farmhouse outside the city. And inside, Yamagata tells Kenshin, prepare yourself. Kenshin is confused on why should he compare him. And they enter the farmhouse. And inside the farmhouse, it is a bloodbath. It is a scene straight out of a horror show. 4 men dead, dispatched. 4 men killed. Their bodies lay. Kenshin can even realize the form of the attacks, but he even says the way these men were killed, it's almost as if it was more done out of rage and anger and hate. Kenshin realizes, as much as anything, these men were ambushed. It was almost as if they didn't expect it. The chief hands him and they see that the letter, there is a notice. Kenshin reads it and says, they were after me. They're mercenaries. Seems like, and the chief says, well, it seems as if one of them either betrayed them or someone else beat them to capturing you, sir. Kenshin is confused until he walks upstairs because he's seen something. When he reaches the top of the staircase, there is a message written in blood. And the message reads, I will have vengeance. He is mine. All three men are confused at what does this mean? What does it mean? Who did this? And why? Back at the school, Kagome and the gang they get a knock at the door. And at the door, it is Yun. I'm sorry to disturb you, Miss Karu, but I wanted to offer you dessert. Dessert that I think you may like. See, on my travels around Europe, I learned how to make this. It is called the crepe. I learned it in France. Would you like to have some? Karu says, oh, yes, thank you. Sano says, hey, what's going on? What do you got there? Crepes, Mr. Sanosuke. Would you like some? All three begin to devour the crepes. The young chef makes hands every bit of them. I'm sure you're enjoying it. Yes, it's very sweet, but it's very nice. Yahio, is everything okay? Kagome, I'm not feeling so well. Yeah, I'm getting hot myself. I'm feeling dizzy, Sano replies. Sano collapses. Yahio collapses. Miss Kagome and Karu, she passes out right in the arms of Yun. And he lays them down and he replies, sweet dreams. You're just part of the plan. And when I'm done, I'll free you. As he strokes Karu's hair. He leaves back with Kenshin and Yamagata. What does this mean, Himura? I do not know. I do not know. Whoever this is, whoever did this was meant for me. They wanted me. And these men, I think they were just pawns in a game. You may be right. The person responsible for this, he must have killed them. I guess my job is done. Wait, Himura, we haven't found the killer. Oh, I'm sure you will. But I'll be vigilant and be on guard. I must get back. I must tell Kaoru and the gang about what is going on. As Kenshin walks back, he notices the gate is open. That's odd, because Kaoru would never leave the gate open. Kaoru? Sonosuke? Yahio? No one answers. Soon he enters the courtyard. The light is on. Someone's home. And once he enters, a sense of dread falls across. The wandering samurai enters the hall, and he sees his 3 friends lying on the floor, motionless. Almost, he goes over the check to see if they are dead, but he can tell they're not breathing. Or are they? He checks again, and he can slightly hear. He bends down to listen for a heartbeat, and he slightly hears a heartbeat. Kenshin knows they are alive. So he rushes to Megome, and he says, Megome, please, I need your help. She hurries with Kenshin back. What happened? I don't know. I found him like this. I don't know. Their hearts are beating, but it's almost as if they are in a deep sleep. Megome checks again. She even listens. Their heartbeats are slightly beating, but not at a normal rate. She even says, you're right, they are in some sort of vegetated state, some state. It's almost as if they are dead, but who did this? Kenshin says, I do not know. The door opens, or the door creaks from the wind. Kenshin looks and finds a note on the other side that says, come to the Akabeko if you want to save your friends. Miss Kagome, stay with them. I will. The samurai travels to Yakabeko, and inside he finds Tay and the members of the Akabeko laying. He is distraught once again, but he realizes they're just asleep. And then he hears a voice from the darkness of, don't worry, they're alive. My plan was never to hurt them. They were nice. My plan was to draw you out. Show yourself. Who are you? Out of the shadows, a young boy, and Kenshin, you from earlier, 2 days ago. I met you 2 days ago. You're Yun Tanada, right? Wrong, Batosai. It is not Tanaka. My name is Yun Toshida. Do you remember that name? Does my face look familiar? You murdered my father. Kenshin takes a good long look at the young man, and he remembers the face. The boy had the uncanny look of a man that Kenshin killed a long time ago. I do remember you. I remember your father. You look just like him, and you killed him. Yun, it was war. It was a different time then, and I was a different man then. Is that supposed to make me feel better? I watched you kill my father. You showed him no mercy. Yun, why did you do this? What did Karu, Yahio, and Sano do to you? Nothing. They did nothing. You see, I needed to draw you out. Those bodies in the farmhouse, you did that. Those morons were fools. They wanted money. I told them I needed you, but they were too afraid. So I killed them. I don't like cowards. I knew the police would find the bodies, but I didn't expect them to bring you. So my plan had to work. I had to change my plan somewhat. And I did. My plan was changed. So I used your friends. And if you think your doctor friend can help, she can't. Because she doesn't know what they're poisoned with. So they are poisoned. Oh yes, they're poisoned. The poison puts you into a deep sleep. It slows your heart rate down as well. I learned about this in my travels abroad. After you killed my father, I traveled the world. Took me to a place, many different places. I even went to the jungles. Even went to a jungle known as, the locals called it, the Amazon. I learned quite a lot about nature, as well as I honed my own skills in swordsmanship. Paid the price too. Killed some people on the way. Killed wannabe swordsmen. Even killed some famous swordsmen. Like you. Men who so-called retired. Men who became educators. Farmers. But you can't kill the warrior spirit. I didn't want to kill some of them because they reminded me of my father. But I needed to be able to handle myself, defend myself as well. Seemed like to be on your level. Where's the antidote? The antidote. Oh, yes, the antidote. It's right here. The young boy shows. However, the young boy does something very disturbing. He swallows the vials. The young boy has crazed eyes when he does it too. Now, after he swallows it, he turns to Kenshin again and says, "Now, you want the antidotes? You're going to have to kill me to get it. If you don't, your friends are dead in 24 hours." The young boy begins to remove his upper clothing to reveal a very disturbing display. His upper torso shows a complete story of his training as well as what he's gone through over the years. He may be only 18, but his body seems to be more like a seasoned veteran. There were scars everywhere over his body, some looking very fresh, as if his body couldn't heal properly. Admiring my work, Himura, you see, this is what training, the hard training I did. It made me strong. It made me less fearful to pain. He showcases another vial, a vial that is full of blood. He removes the top from the vial and pours some red substance that Kenshin realizes is blood over top of his hair. His blood-soaked hair, and the blood seeps through his hair across his face. Kenshin is confused again. He's never seen anything like this. It's almost as if the boy was doing some sort of blood ritual. Then he unsheaths a sword. Kenshin backs up. He realizes he can't fight here. He needs to have room. Besides, he doesn't want to injure Tay and the others. Afraid, Batosai? Not by the least. I'm just making sure no one gets hurt. This kind act of yours is not who you really are. You're a monster. And monsters have no heart. You know why? Because you made me. You turned me into a monster. No, Yun, I didn't turn you into anything. You chose this path. Now stand down. I don't want to have to hurt you. You're going to have to hurt me, or they die. Now unsheath your sword. Do it! Kenshin obliged to the young man. Tai Yun realizes that Kenshin's sword is a reverse blade, and he begins to laugh. Are you joking? You really think you can hurt me with that? In the blink of an eye, Yun is thrown. By one thrust, Kenshin delivers a blow that sends the young man flying. Kenshin realizes that was just a test to see how good the young man really was. Is he truly able to stand the might of Hiten Mitsurugi? The boy gets up, almost as if he didn't feel a thing. But Kenshin realizes he did. He felt that. The boy charges at Kenshin. Kenshin evades, slashing through the air. Slashing, slicing, slashing, slicing, thrusting. Kenshin is able to dodge with ease. You are good, Yun. Your skills are good. But you lack focus, and more importantly, you're fighting with anger. So much anger that it's clouding you. Again, Kenshin throws another thrust, knocking the boy down. Yun, I'm asking you, don't do this. He gets up again and charges Kenshin. Kenshin again tries to go easy on him as much as he can. The boy is no match. There's even a point in time with all the thrusts, he tires himself out. So he tries to fight dirty. And how does he fight dirty? He tries to throw sand. While slashing, he tries to throw sand in Kenshin's eye. Unfortunately, Yun is no match for Kenshin. Kenshin is able to evade or predict every move the young man makes. And he continues to thrust and perform with his Hiten Mitsurugi style, dropping the boy. The boy continues to get up until Kenshin is able to break the young man's sword. Soon, the young man, Yun, is just angry with fire in his eyes. He even tries to slash at Kenshin with his broken blade, but Kenshin sticks his sword, stopping Yun from moving. It's over, Yun. No more. Again, I am truly sorry about your father. But again, as I said, it was war. It was not a good time. And your father died as a warrior. I'm sorry. Kenshin unsheaths his blade and begins to walk away. And Yun screams, "Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! This isn't over! Your friends will die! You hear me? They will die!" Kenshin just continues to walk away from the angry young man until he pulls a gun and he shoots it in the air. Kenshin turns around and Yun is pointing a pistol at. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. I will have my vengeance on my father. Die! He shoots the gun. Kenshin moves. He shoots again. Kenshin moves. Until the last shot, Kenshin slices the bullet. However, the bullet ends up shooting the boy. Half of the bullet ends up, and the young boy falls from a gunshot. Kenshin picks up the boy and he carries the boy back to the dojo. Miss Kagome, I need your help. Kenshin tells Megome the situation, and Megome is able to remove the sack that had the antidote. When the boy Yun wakes up, he realizes that he has a scar across his stomach. Another scar. A new, fresh scar. Completely stitched. But he's also handcuffed. Turns out that once they had a little operation, and in the process, the antidotes were removed from him. And he was also stitched up from his bullet wound he suffered from. Now he is in the custody of the police as the Kaoru, Sanosuke, and Yahiko are returning back to normal. When the police are taking young Yun away, he turns to Kenshin and said, "You should have killed me. Why didn't you kill me?" Kenshin replies, "Because I swore to never take a life, especially not the life of a child. You may be 18, but you are still a child at heart. I'm sorry again to everything that happened to you, everything you put yourself through. But you also have to take responsibility for what you did. Your own." The boy looks at Kenshin with not understanding, but still complete disdain. Even more, he spits at Kenshin. "That's what I think of your compassion. That's what I think of what you are. You think what you did changes anything? Doesn't change me. They will hold me. For how long? That's my choice. And when I get out, I will come for you. I will continue to come for you. Until you are old, I will come for you. Kenshin replies, Yun, if I live to grow old, maybe then you will be ready. And hopefully with my death, maybe you'll find peace. The police take Yun away. And we have Kenshin and Megome helping the gang eat because they're still very weak. Why did he do this, Kenshin? My past continues to haunt me, Kaoru. And I'm not surprised that there aren't more coming after me. Who knows what I created? I could have created more monsters like Yun. I could have created far worse than Yun. Only time will tell, but I must be ready. I will be ready. Well, guys, that is Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin, the Blood Ronin. I want to thank everybody who listened to this little audio story idea. This was actually the last request from Tom that he did. I want to thank him as well. This was his idea to the most part. I added a little more into it. For example, naming the young Ronin or young warrior, adding some more instance to him. I wanted to use a lot of characters from the series, but I also wanted to add some nuances to it. But more importantly, people are probably going to ask, okay, so when does this take place? Well, I would say, if anything, this story kind of takes place in between season 1 and before the Kyoto arc. There you go. That's pretty much how I look at it. I had a lot of fun with this. Very much a lot of fun, and I want to thank Tom for this. Unfortunately, for the most people, this was the last thing for Tom that he did. He requested. Tom, I want to thank you for trying out my Patreon. I appreciate, and there's no hard feelings. There's never any hard feelings. I don't ever want you thinking that you canceling being a part of my Patreon and not me doing this. No, I told you I was. The problem with it is that I've just been so busy I didn't have time to upload this. So now it's done. So again, guys, if you enjoyed this story, Rurouni Kenshin, the Blood Ronin, you tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about the character that was co-created by myself and Tom. I just gave him the name, and a little bit more backstory. The character, some of the backstory is created by Tom as well. The whole revenge on Kenshin is an easy route. I mean, we've seen throughout the anime, there are people that have wanted revenge on Kenshin. So, but the idea of a teenager, I was a little bit like, I'll say I was a little bit, I don't know about that. Like, and the whole point of it also was that the kid was never going to be able to handle Kenshin. That was never going to happen. So I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna make him kind of be able to. I'll make him be able to, you know, somewhat handle himself in a fight, but he's not gonna be able to handle Kenshin. Excuse me. And that was how I was gonna look at it. I know there's probably some. Well, you got to remember, Shishio's boy. He was young, and I'm like, yeah. Well, I'm not going that route. So I wasn't gonna go that route, but I wanted to paint the picture of a little bit of the character of Yun and showcase that, this kid has gone through a lot through his training. Like, I wanted the visuals, like he had scars all over him that still look fresh, like, because they didn't heal properly because of what he was doing to himself, as well as, him learning. I thought it would be a good idea for the idea of him being a cook in the Yakobeko was something I came up with, but I also came up with the idea of that he was well traveled and he was able to reach as far as the Amazon, where he learned about more poisons and things like that. That was just an idea I came up with. Yeah, this is the late 1800s, but yes, we know that there was a lot of travels, and we seen people in the series travel to Europe and places like that. So I just took it upon myself to say, okay, he traveled all the way to South America. But in the process, I hope it came out well for most guys. You guys take care. I'll see you guys next time. Tom, thank you again. And like I said before, you are always welcome to return back to the Patreon. No hard feelings. There's never any hard feelings. I don't ever want anybody thinking that if you leave, you cancel, I'm mad at you, because I'm not. There are always things for free members, and if you're a free member, that's fine. But in the meantime, you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.